All right, Ryan, the UConn Huskies. The UConn Huskies coming on Thursday morning, Ryan. Phil and Ryan, listen up. Last night, it was the UConn Huskies all over St. John's, 82-52 final score, Ryan, on Wednesday night. Really, we expected a UConn victory, but not that shape or form. Let me tell you, that was pretty amazing. And if you want to ask me, now that we're pretty much at the midpoint of the season, because I did see a lot of different ESPN analysts, and they broke down the player of the year, the final four teams, their predictions yesterday. I was going over an article, and good news. They all had, I know it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Some people do not want to hear about it, like specifically you probably. They all had UConn in the final four. Now, the reason I say you don't want to hear that is because, you say, well, you don't really pay attention to the Vegas lines or ESPN articles or predictions. But I knew that you would actually like their predictions, because all 4 or 5 ESPN writers, not analysts, writers, they had journalists, they had UConn as a Final Four team. And I think that's very accurate. I like that a lot. But getting back to this game recap, Ryan, specifically, man, let me tell you what I liked and did not like, and I'll turn it over to you very quickly. Man, look, Azzi returned, and boy, was it amazing to see her on the court first time since December the 3rd, I believe. And I think pretty much at the midway point of the season, I think this was a turning point. I really do. I think that this game was more than just a win. I think that this was speaking volumes, putting out a statement, not only in this conference, but the rest of the March Madness team, saying, here we come. Now, we've pretty much figured, UConn was going to make a run at it, no matter how many players were injured or no matter how many were healthy. I get that. But think about it. This was a wake-up call, okay? Not only to your conference teams, but the top 25. All right. I really am starting to believe now. And thank you, UConn fans, for putting that pressure on me weeks and weeks ago. Okay. Because, hey, usually it pays off. And it is. It really is. Ryan, I can't wait to get into comments today, Ryan. I know we have so much to say, but very quickly, speaking on behalf of Azzi Fudd, I caught some highlights last night, and I took the whole team played amazing, but what I took out of it was Azzi Fudd's return, the quick pass and roll that she has in the paint, and the quick release, the little things. We talk about the little things that matter most. Ryan, she knew when she was open. She got the ball quickly. As soon as she got the ball, she knows how to form her step, and she shoots right away. Catch and shoot that quick. And I think that was important, because all the time that she was out and missed, we talked about her being, a little bit rusty. And I saw some comments saying, she better get her head in the game. They better put her back into ball games quickly, because in March, she might not be all that. Guess what? You don't have to worry about it, man. This is, why? This is Azzi Fudd. Ryan, what do you have early on this Thursday morning as UConn earns a big victory?
Yeah, well, it was also good to see Coach Gino back on the sidelines and coaching the team again. Great to have Gino back on the sideline. And also, obviously, Azzi Fudd came off the bench, not in the starting lineup, but she still got good minutes. Had a protected brace on her knee, but didn't seem to affect her at all last night, which was good to see. UConn started off the game on a 6-0 run. Dorka was aggressive, made a jump shot. She had a great game. But UConn had a couple offensive fouls. St. John's started to rally back a little bit, really back and forth. First quarter, Azzi came straight into the game and made a 3 straight away, which was really awesome to see. Second quarter, Azzi remained in the game, hit another 3. It's so nice to say, like you were seeing, it's so nice to see her shoot the ball again. Her release is really one of a kind. Leah Edwards started to take over a little bit in that second quarter, had 11 points halfway through the second, and UConn tightened up a little bit on the defensive end. Lou made 10 straight points before she committed her third foul and had to go to the bench. Aaliyah also had 3 fouls, and they both got taken out of the game with about 3 minutes left in the second quarter. But UConn was just clicking on all cylinders in that quarter. Decision making, passing, shooting, it was all there. And the defensive intensity picked up as well. UConn outscored St. John's 24-9, and we're up 41-20 at the half. And at that point, I don't think St. John's could dig themselves out of that hole. UConn just grabbed all the momentum, and everything was just clicking for them. Pretty big moment in the third quarter. Dorka Juhasz got her 1,000th career rebound during the third quarter. So congrats to Dorka for sure. That's a pretty impressive.
Come on now. I don't want to be the only one clapping, Ryan. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. 1,000 rebounds and counting for Dorka Juhasz. So they played very tight defense as well. About eight of the 10 minutes they were on St. John's. But I want to point out something about Amari DeBerry. She came into the game, got 2 assists either in the first or second quarter when she did come into the game. But she still looks lost, in my opinion, on the offensive and defensive side of things. It's just that she acts like she's not sure where to go on offense, and it's like she's too slow on defense. I realize she's a very talented player. Her size and height can't be taught, but I just wish she could find a way to blend into the lineup when she's on the court. But UConn continued to dominate despite St. John's going on a little bit of a run to end the third quarter there. Final score obviously ended up being 82-52 in favor of UConn, but I really thought UConn did a good job in transition. They forced turnovers, took advantage of that, scoring off the forced turnovers, spread the ball around very, very well. Good spacing on offense was evident throughout the whole entire game. And another team effort defensively. UConn, a very good team win last night, in my opinion.
Yeah, and like I told you a couple weeks ago, or not even a week ago, I will have my eye on. It's important. I get it because we're accustomed to seeing UConn put up 90, 100 points, right? That's just the way this program has been run, and that's the way it always has been to see the high scoring games. But I'm really specifically, I think it's going to matter a lot in how far that it carries them. I'm specifically looking at the other side of the ball. As far the other side as far as the opponents go, the teams. And I'm telling you, Ryan, no matter if it's St. John's, no matter if it's one of the worst teams in college basketball, no matter if it's the best team in college basketball, I'm looking to see how many points UConn allows. And at the end of the day, when it's a final score, because Ryan, I don't think that this is, and hopefully I'm right, come March, late March, early April, I don't think that this is a fluke. All right. I don't think this is a fluke. Some of the teams that you see putting up 80, 90 points in other ball games, when they run into UConn all of a sudden, Ryan, they can hardly get to 50.
Yeah, I mean, and that just speaks to UConn, despite having 7 players, having the whole team healthy, whatever. They always come out to play. They always show up with outstanding effort. And St. John's is a really talented offensive team.
Yes.
And both of these teams are very defensive talented as well. And I thought in that first quarter, both of the offenses kind of outmatched the defense, but UConn picked it up there, just starting that whole second quarter, and didn't allow St. John's to really shoot the ball at all. They made everything tough. So, like I said, it was a really good team effort all around on the defensive side of things. And Lou also 19 points. She had a great game. I wanted to bring up her. Sacrificed a couple minutes to get in the foul trouble, but still able to score 19 points. Just an outstanding shooter. I'm so glad Lou is on this team to just be able to shoot the ball Most of the time it's going to hit the bottom of the net, but just her playmaking ability as well to get herself open, really great to see. And I want to bring up Aaliyah, another solid performance, 15 points, 7 rebounds, and obviously AZ yet again, getting her back and seeing her shoot the ball, getting out there on the court, tremendous boost to the team. Even though she didn't start, came off the bench and scored 15 points. So awesome win by UConn. I think it's still a good momentum boost. Keep the momentum rolling. 7 straight wins now against a very good St. John's team.
Let me tell you, Dorka Juhasz, this is what I imagined her to be around this time of the year, dating back to last season. I was high on this player in the offseason. Go back and look at the videos if you do not believe me. Dorka Juhasz, Ryan, if you're a true UConn Huskies fan, you have to be smiling what's going on right now. Especially if she gets the assist number up to double figures, double rebounds, double assist. This is a very good sign, and we can only hope and cross our fingers that Dorka Juhasz heads into the postseason like this shape and form, and even better, because this is what we all, and I bet you any amount of money you get Gino on here, he will tell you this is what he imagined Dorka Juhasz to be. This is why they transferred her over to UConn. The best women's basketball program on the earth, right? Dorka Juhasz. This is the real reason. We already heard from Michaela Daniels. Shout out to her at Arkansas. We heard from Michaela Daniels. It doesn't really matter how many points you score all the time in basketball, just so you're winning. You don't have to be the leader in points per game every single game. I think that this is Dorka Juhasz is fulfilling her real role at UConn, and that's the rebounds and assists, buddy. And if them numbers keep popping up in the right direction, oh my, watch out, because that is a presence inside the paint that is hard to stop. And I want to shout out to Mr. Fahrenheit on this one. I don't even care if you're South Carolina. Watch out. Here comes Dorka Juhasz and the Huskies. Okay. Comment time, Ryan. Comments presented by Dempsey's and Sportsland. If I can find them here. Here we go. Let's start off with Marcia Clark. Thanks for the hard work, Phil and Rye. Jason, we are thinking of you and your family. In terms of all the injury talk, I want to say that the game has really changed in recent years, and NIL deals are helping this. The league has just become more competitive since talented players are leveling out the playing field, or court in this case, to get more playing time. Teams can't just rely on a few players anymore to keep up with the overall athleticism happening throughout the league. I think teams are trying to do the best they can to adapt, but unfortunately, injuries are a part of this process. It's happening to other teams too. Bring on the Sage and let's go UConn.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can try to change the trend somehow within these next couple weeks, and hopefully we eventually get Caroline back, because she's been out for a while, almost a month, I think, at this point. But hopefully get Ayanna back as soon as she possibly can come back healthy. And by then I think we'll pretty much have a healthy as it's going to get this season. So, but yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. Every team has to deal with injuries. It's always been in the game. You can't control it, can't predict it. So it's going to happen each and every year. There's really nothing you can do about it. But yeah, I mean, it's certainly, we can see the trend within these past couple of years that teams are just getting better and better. And like I've already said, it's good to see. So you definitely can't rely on just your starting 5 anymore. You need that depth. You need players that are going to come off the bench that you can rely on night to night.
Stevie Kinsey, I have absolutely no clue what to expect for this game. Will the Huskies come out firing on offense, or will they be rusty? I like to think that the rest benefited them. I'm really hoping that AZ comes back for this game. I miss watching her play almost as much as I miss watching Paige. Also, I totally disagree with so many people trying to blame the coaching staff and program in general on the injuries. Literally, none of the injuries have been anyone's fault. Well, Stevie finally admitted it. It's not Ryan's fault, and it's not Phil's fault. It's not Austin Anita's fault. It's not Listen Up.
Well, to speak on the first part of that, coming out on the offensive side, firing and looking pretty good. They started out on a 6-0 run. They were up 9-1, but St. John's was prepared in that first quarter, but just didn't go their way after that for the Red Storm. But yeah, I mean, that's good to hear that it's not our fault. But yeah, I mean, I think for the coaching staff, I wouldn't blame it on the coaching staff or any of the coaches, anything like that. But I just think the point I want to bring up is a couple of these injuries have happened in practice. So, I realize UConn has always been a team that practices very hard. Gino's really high on that. But it's just so unfortunate when players get injured in practice. I know Ines got banged up. Aaliyah got banged up in practice. That's why she's wearing the mask, which has turned out pretty good for her. She's been playing pretty good in that mask, but just been a couple injuries that have happened in practice. That's all I'm gonna say.
And how about time for one more? We haven't heard from. Well, yeah, one more. I know I like to keep reading them. They're all so good. Alan Lee goes, Phil, you hit it on the nail. Excuse me, you hit it on the nail. You hit the nail on the head with people overreacting 100%. Time to stop saying UConn would have lost if Paige didn't go off against North Carolina State in the tournament. If is always a bad place to hang out. She was awesome. Just stop there. To say more is a slap in the face to the rest of the team that played hard through losing. Dorka horribly mid-game. Paige is irreplaceable, but this year's team proves that your theory is not open and shut. Huskies find a way. That's why they are who they are. This team is bigger than any one player. Even Paige, whom I absolutely adore and worship as a modern-day goddess. Well, yeah, and I tell you what, man, I agree. I do agree with all the ESPN writers yesterday. Sometimes, usually, I do not as far as predictions go. But this time, man, it really opened my eyes, Ryan. And, especially the performance, since we break down every single game, every little piece to the puzzle. Man, this is truly a Final Four team. Can they get there? Absolutely. Will it happen? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you on that. It's definitely a talented enough team to get to the Final Four, to get to the national championship, and obviously win it all. But is it going to happen? It's just nobody knows, and it's such a tough road to get there. And they've obviously done it so many times with Gino and CD on the bench there and on the sideline. But it's going to be tough, and nobody can predict it. It's going to be a long road, but the fight that UConn continues to put out every night and the effort, like I said, despite how many players are healthy or not, is really, really good to watch and really good to see out of a UConn Huskies team. And I think that's why, this fan base knows that they're always going to be in there fighting every single game, is because of their effort that they put out night to night.
Victory Thursday. Go enjoy it with some hot eggs, bacon, sausage, whatever you eat for breakfast, Ryan. Go enjoy it because it is Victory Thursday. I know we're not used to coming on in the morning time, but hey, it's just that much better to record, knock it out, and then just let breakfast slide down. That good warm feeling of eggs, and then you top it off with some cereal. What's your favorite kind of cereal? I like the Quaker oatmeal squares.
I don't know. I don't really eat that much cereal.
You
If I'm
don't
gonna be
eat? Oh no,
I'm gonna
that's
be
America's
honest
number
with you,
one
but
food for breakfast.
but I'd probably go Frosted Flakes. I got to go back to my roots and say the original Frosted Flakes.
Frosted Flakes. I tell you what, pull up a seat, grab a bowl, and let's break down the Georgetown and Connecticut game, because that's very important. You know why? Because that's up next. We'll be back right here on Listen Up for the last check-in. Georgetown and Ryan, number 4, Connecticut, coming off of a big winning streak heading into this one, huh? And it's going to be right there at the XL Center. Ryan, I will see you soon. Georgetown, here we come. Phil and Ryan on Listen Up.